We've got Halloween Havoc recap, preview, this weekend wrestling. It's all right now on In This Very Ring, live on A2D Radio.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of In This Very Ring, live right here on A2D Radio. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there will be. I am the man they know as Ritz. And joining me, as he does each and every Friday night, the mayor of Toasty Town. This is Butters! Pick up the microphone. Pick up the microphone.
Hello.
I can't. All right. We're brought to you by LNZ Travel. LNZ Travel specializes in creating vacation your dreams at Disney Universal or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. LNZ on over to LNZ-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself, Chucks, or any of the other talented travel agents that we have here at LNZ Travel. We've got a fun one tonight. I say fun because, well, it's better than watching the World Series. It is Halloween Havoc recap. It is Halloween Havoc preview. What?
Just sheer emotion. It's Halloween Havoc preview, review.
Well, I mean, AEW didn't do anything worth a damn. Oh, they had Ric Flair come out.
Woo!
We'll talk about that later. On Raw, and SmackDown just ended like half an hour ago. And other than LA Knight sitting at the head of the table, what did you do for me? You didn't do nothing. You did nothing.
You didn't do diddly.
Right? So, and Halloween, and even Halloween Havoc. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into the poll question, everything like that in a minute. But even Halloween Havoc, night one, I watched probably 75% of that show.
Mm-hmm.
Eh.
I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong,
I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't anything where I was like, yeah, there should be 2 nights of this.
It wasn't the quality that you used to for NXT.
No, and why are we taking, and I've had this issue last year, I've had it with Great American Bash when they do it. Why are you taking what once was prominent WCW pay-per-views and making them your weekly specials? Why not just do that on a Saturday? Do the Great American Bash 4th of July weekend. Do Halloween Havoc Halloween weekend. It worked for Turner.
It's not working for AEW when they do it.
But because, again, AEW, though, does stupid bullshit like this. They do the whole, let's do Grand Slam on a random Wednesday in, June.
Yeah.
Right?
Road Rager week 1, Road Rager week 2.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't work anymore. And I think that's the biggest problem, is these special nights just don't work. And
They
maybe
don't
that's
feel special anymore.
They don't. And maybe it's a long-form conversation we have when Pete's back. We really break down these special weekly shows. But let's get into our topic of conversation tonight, something I'm actually really excited to talk about. It's brought to you by our friends at Specialized Physical Therapy. Dr. Paul Vidal and his team. 2 locations, Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's our doc. Make him yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal. He brings us our poll question tonight. Chase U is the best thing in NXT right now. Agree, disagree. Butters, hit me with it, my brother.
Honestly, probably. I mean,
This man says probably. That's not one of the options. Pick one.
I can't straddle the fence.
That fence is going to buckle under you. Son.
Oh, we're going to fat jokes early, huh? All right.
We got to do something.
No, honestly, they probably are the best thing they got going right now. I mean, they've got a few other things, but right now, this whole Chase U storyline, grabbing the gold, night one, night one instead of calling it fucking week one. Night one and then night two, the girls trying to go after the gold. The stuff with Jacy, Jayne, and kind of inserting herself into the bit. It's an interesting storyline we got for NXT because Breaker ain't doing diddly.
Breaker sucks.
His girlfriend ain't doing diddly. She
pathetic.
Baron Corbin's barely doing anything.
Woo.
Melo should have been main roster by now.
Duh.
Ilja's just getting started.
Yeah.
And Dirty Dom, I mean, he's Raw mostly.
There's so much phrasing in that sentence right there. There's so much wrong with Dirty Dom is Raw.
With mommy.
Wow. Wow. I can't believe you just I can believe you said it.
But
dumber shit.
But to be quite honest, yes, Chase U, I will agree to the poll. They are the best thing in NXT right now. Before that, the whole family bit, I was loving it. That's died down. The family's won the gold. Now let's get back to Chase U.
Which it's fine that it died down once the family's won the gold. Once the family won the gold. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally okay that it died down because there was nothing more for them to do.
Correct. And this is, this was something I really truly wasn't expecting, was for Chase U to, get inserted into this and for them to even freaking win it to begin with. To just win it all. I mean, they're inserted into the bada bing, bada boom battle royal. They end up winning it against I don't even know what they want to call themselves these days. Angel and Carrillo.
No comment.
But the fact that, oh my God, okay, they won it. Cool. Now they're going against the family. Can they win the gold? I highly doubt it. And then all of a sudden.
I will say this. NXT does tag teams really, really well. They've made them believable. They made them compelling. I mean, you look at the Creed brothers. Right?
Love the Creed brothers.
Love the Creed brothers. They survived Diamond Mine.
Mm-hmm.
They survived Roddy leaving. They survived all of that. And they've made themselves such a force on the main roster.
To your point, of NXT's tag teams, being great, and then they get called up to the main roster, and then they do diddly with them. Point being the Ascension.
But see,
they were great on NXT.
And this goes back to a conversation we've had in long form a lot, is the NXT character doesn't always work on the main roster.
True.
Right? Case in point, the Ascension, the Authors of Pain. Right?
Let's Triple H wants them back.
No Way Jose.
Oh my God, yes.
Right? Because it's not that intimate setting. Don chiming in. What's up, Don? How you doing, buddy?
Don.
Oh, he changed his profile picture.
Again.
It only took him 7 years. But no, it's one of those things right now to where when I look at NXT, and we were talking about it in our A2D wrestling chat that we have with me, you, Chrome, Pete. We were talking about how Chase U winning the titles probably should have capped the night off because there was so much more excitement there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not to take anything away from Lyra winning, which we'll get to. We'll break down the night, but now in hindsight, when you see that it sets up the girls for their match on night 2 against Chelsea and Piper, okay, awesome, right? But it really should have. You could have done that as a bonus backstage segment. You could have let that tie in somehow. What makes this so compelling? It's not just Andre Chase and Duke and Thea. It's Jacy bringing that element in, and what she did with Thea to help Thea stand on her own, right? While still encouraging Thea to be with Chase U in so many different ways. And then you watch back the end of that match. She goes to hand Chase the crowbar. And Chase says, no, we're going to do this the right way. She ends up getting knocked off the apron, right? He rolls up the Don and gets the 3 count. They win. Awesome. Great. There is a part of me that is really, it goes 2 ways for me. And you laid out the criteria, but I fluffed it up a little bit. And one of the lines I wrote in there, and it came off the dome, right? And this could be another poll question too. Will Andre Chase see the light, or is this Jacy's light bulb moment? And what I mean by that is, do we see a heel turn? Because Jacy's a heel. She pretty much made Thea a heel, right? Duke just wants to win. The poor bastard just wants to win. But you have Chase saying, no, we're going to stick to these morals and we're going to do things the right way, the honorable way. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. In come Jacy. Now you guys are all succeeding. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe the honorable way isn't working. Maybe the honorable way gets you nowhere in the professional wrestling. And now Jacy's toxic attraction, right? It plays back. It's long-term storytelling for Jacy because it plays back to that. She's toxic. She's infected Chase U. But all 4 of them have now elevated themselves to where it's a much more compelling next week's match for the tag titles, because of what could happen with, because the story isn't Thea and Jacy versus Chelsea and Piper. The story is the dynamic within Chase U.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's the more compelling story than Melo versus Dragunov. At least in my book.
Yeah.
Right? That's the more compelling tale. So, why not? Why not say they're the best thing in NXT today?
I mean, we can, yeah. No, I can agree to that.
Now, if we wanted to take the disagree side to it, there's going to be somebody in this chat listening to us back on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Speaker. They're going to hear us and they go, Ritz and Butters, you guys are nuts. Well, you're not that far off. But is Melo Dragunov, is the Melo Trick story
more compelling?
And I don't know the answer to that because Chrome said it in our chat, and I'll give Chrome his flowers, his due diligence, his credit. We've seen it a million times before. We have seen best friend attack, best friend backstage to further their career. It gets revealed, right, later down the line, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're spawning these guys off to another story. One, something I want to ask you. Because we dance around it last couple weeks. We never really focused on it. One, and don't answer these. Wait, don't finish. Question number one. Did Melo attack Trick?
Well, you said
Question number two. Are you willing to sacrifice the NXT champion and maybe even the title, Dragunov, these first couple weeks of Dragunov's reign, to branch off a story between these two that isn't anything more than, oh, you screwed me out of a title shot? Three, if it wasn't Trick, then wasn't Melo, then who?
so. I don't think it was Melo, to be quite honest. I know everything they've done leads you to believe it's Melo. Why not pull a swerve on everybody? To say, yes, with this interview they did with Melo during night one, makes you to believe that maybe he did. But at the same time,
Can I interrupt you there for just 1 second?
Yeah.
Because you bring up the interview. And I'm not long for a conversation on this at all. I wanted to pick that interview. If you stop the part with the girls and you don't have Braun come into the shot, that's a great segment. If you just do Melo watches this thing, the interview with Dragunov and Vic, the girls come in, they do their little spooky shit because it all ties into Halloween Havoc,
mm-hmm.
and then you go to commercial. Great segment. You bring Braun in, it's cringy. But continue.
But you have this interview with Melo, instead of asking him, of course they asked him about the title match, but they start to grill him in a sense on did he, betray his best friend for a title shot? Did he beat him? It's like, and some of the answers he gave, it's like, did he or didn't he? He's giving these weird answers like, you know what, I think you might have. I think at the end of the day, Trick didn't do it.
Okay. So then who?
To be quite honest, possibly Ilja. Put some tension there. Pull Carmelo off his game. Retain his title.
Create the illusion that Melo attacked.
Correct. Because you think about it, yes, you don't know who's going to win your fatal 4-way triple threat number one contender. But if it does come down to Melo, which you're pretty positive as a champion, that it's more than likely being Melo the way Melo is.
Right.
Well, I've just created tension between.
But see, that goes against. And all right, so is it a bad idea? Not necessarily. Where the idea kind of gets kiboshed is you go back to the interview he has with Vic, and he goes, I don't change how I prepare for an opponent. The opponent needs to prepare for me. Right? That would go against that concept of, well, I know that Melo can come close to beating me.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to stack the deck against Melo. Right? I need to create this uncertainty, this tension, this unsettlingness. So when Trick comes back, cost Melo the title, I still keep my title. That goes against everything that promo stands for. Because I said it in our chat.
I mean, we've seen weirder shit happen, but at the same time, absolutely. I do agree with you.
Absolutely. Again, that's why, like, if it comes out and it's the truth, right? Melo attacked. Dragunov attacked him for yada 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 yada. Okay.
But
but
to go with your point of, if it wasn't Melo, who else could it be? I mean, truly and honestly, if it was none of the people involved, whether it be involved in the Fatal 4-Way or Ilja, meaning no Carmelo, no Dijak, no Corbin, who could it truly have been?
It's fitting that I yawn before I say this man's name. Braun Breaker.
You think so?
Why else do you do that? Why else do you do that promo? Why do you do that backstage segment with Breakker talking to Melo?
True.
Right. What you set up there is you set up. What's up, Raymond? What's up, Jake?
Hi, Raymond. Hi, Jake.
And there's Frank. And yes, Frank.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Don Callis.
Hi, Frank. Yeah.
Raymond agrees to the poll as well. If you have what you set up in that segment is Melo beat Dragunov. It's revealed that Braun attacked Trick.
Mm-hmm.
Melo versus Braun. Somehow Braun ends up the title again. And I stopped watching NXT.
I don't think he ends up with the title again anymore. I think we're gonna see title matches with Dijak and Corbin before we see Breakker back in the title picture.
Which is fine. I like that. Raymond says Melo and Trick storyline is like the Enzo and Cass storyline, in my opinion. That's not a bad.
It's not
bad reference.
It's not a bad comparison.
The difference is Melo and Trick can both wrestle, and Melo and Trick at this point are both entertaining. The Cass wasn't entertaining at that point.
He could wrestle.
It was all Enzo. Enzo could wrestle too, but Enzo was like the Wish.com Eddie Kingston.
I wouldn't say Wish anymore. I'd say more like Temu now.
Great value.
Ah, the Walmart brand.
Yeah. So,
Wally World.
So,
bless you.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. So,
Don't do it again.
fuck off. So, it's very.
Oh my God.
It's very interesting to see where they go with this, but I still think the Chase U stuff, circuit all back. While yes, there's a lot of variables with Trick and Melo, they could really turn around and just be like, "Oh no, it's gonna be this."
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna be the simplest thing on the planet, and we're all gonna hate it. At least with Chase U, and Raymond's reading my mind. Chase U has the potential to have a lot of gold next week.
I'd love it. I'm all for it.
And I wonder if they would be the first faction to hold a men's tag titles and the women's tag titles at the same time.
Math checks out.
Yeah.
So I really don't think there's been a faction lately that had the women in it, like more than one woman in it. To be quite honest.
Damien says Braun goes to the main roster, faces Priest for the title after he wins it from Seth. Ugh. And it's not. It has nothing to do with Seth Priest winning the title off of Seth. That's not the part I ugh. Part I ugh is Braun Breakker. I'm sorry, man. I'm not.
Maybe he'll be better on the main roster.
I hope so. Like I had a lot of excitement when he broke in, a couple years ago, right towards the end of NXT, the Black and Gold era.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was good. I thought
before the spray tan.
Yeah, like before his first title run, before he beats Ciampa, and really kind of like he came in as he wasn't the bad guy, but he was the bad guy because he was ruining the NXT that we had come to know and love.
Yeah,
and we weren't about that at the time, but it was so good, so refreshing to see how it all played out. And then they had nothing to put in front of him. And then his promo skills were bad. It's another thing we talked about. He should have a mouthpiece.
Yep.
There should be somebody doing the conversation for him. When
Always.
Paul was there last week before, when I was in Disney, so 2 weeks ago. When Paul was there, that was great. That was perfect.
Oh yeah, during the AEW NXT war.
Yeah, bite me.
I couldn't help it.
Fuck. But that was great. Right?
Yeah.
Look, I can go on and on about some of this stuff. I want to put a bow on this part of the show. Damien, stop it. No, like I know. There's a part of me where it's like, all right, it's fun, but okay. Only because I'm about to run an ad. So we're gonna put this Chase U conversation to bed. We're gonna get into Halloween Havoc in a little bit more in depth right after this message from our friends at Royal Billiards.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Rich. It is Butters. It is In This Very Ring. We're about to kick off our Halloween Havoc Night 1 recap. Let's get right into it. I won't lie. I missed the first part. So
I think I missed most of the first part as well.
I missed Roxanne Perez and Kiana James. And I missed Lexis King defeating Dante Chen.
No, I did not miss that. It was a good match.
That was when I remembered, that's because I was home. We didn't do karaoke that night. I'm not usually home.
On Wednesday?
No, on Tuesday.
I mean, Tuesday?
Yeah. I'm not usually home on Tuesdays, or I'm getting ready to leave.
Okay.
And the messages started flying in. I was like, oh, yeah. I'm not going out tonight. So I sat down and I picked it up as the first semifinals match started. So thoughts on, well, let's get into it right now because Raymond brings up the comment. Roxanne slowly turning heel. I saw it on Tuesday. I think that's been the plan.
It'd be a good change of pace for her character.
It'd be any kind of pace for her character.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for Roxanne heel turn. Just need to turn a couple of the other girls' face. I mean, I guess that's where you're going with your new NXT Women's Champion because you can't have all the damn women as heels.
Well, you could, but not necessarily heels, not necessarily faces, right? There's the age-old comment that sometimes women just don't get along.
It'd be an interesting storyline.
It's an overarching brand storyline. That could be interesting, right? You don't have a definitive good guy, definitive bad guy. You've got just a group of women that just don't like each other and are all crawling and clawing for that top spot.
I'm not gonna say it.
Stop it. Again, I'm not doing this.
No.
Right? But they're all clawing for that top spot.
Yeah.
So why not?
No, I agree.
Right? So Damien says, question to y'all, do you think it was too soon to take the NXT title off of Becky? I'm going to put a pause on that, Damien, and I want to pick that back up when we get to the match, if that's okay. I kind of want to run down the card. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because some of the card to me was just throwaway.
I've got a pretty decent answer in that one.
And then, Raymond, we're also going to talk about your comment. I'm sick of these Jade vignettes. Why don't she just choose which brand? All of that's going to play in just a little bit, so hang out, guys. We'll talk about it. But Roxanne, I don't mind if she goes heel.
No,
I don't mind if we do this whole we hate everybody equally. Right? Thoughts on Lexis King? Because I did not get to see it.
Good match. Great debut.
How was the intro?
I mean, coming out on the throne was pretty, literally sitting on a fucking throne for his intro.
I don't know if I hate that.
Like, it was good.
I don't know if I hate that. Like, I
and
think
then just,
I
of
think
course,
I would
walking down to
enjoy
the
that.
ring, kind of playing off that, that king.
Yeah, no, I like that. Okay.
And like I said, good match overall. Nothing like I wouldn't say it's nothing to complain about. It's first match. It's just I wouldn't have called it so much a squash match.
It's a 4-minute match. It's not a squash match
No.
by no means, right?
Correct.
Both women matches, Kalani Jordan and Ariana Grace go 7 minutes 35 seconds, and then Lola Vice and Carmen Petrovic go 3 minutes 36 seconds, which I have a bone to pick about all that too. But
the problem with that is you're doing it on primetime TV. You ain't got much time.
no, I again, there goes my bone to pick. Right?
With all these matches, yeah. No. But no, all in all, great debut match. Keep it up.
Not too gimmicky.
Right now, no.
All right, I'll take that.
We're not. I don't think he really said anything, to be quite honest.
Which is fine.
It came in, whooped some ass, and went right back out.
Damien goes, I don't know what's more cringing, Jade teasing or Pillman's stupid name.
It's named after both his sisters, Jack.
Yeah. All right, so hold on. Let's back up for a second. If you didn't know,
okay, I'll take the jackass part away.
right? If you didn't know, if it wasn't because honestly, unless I went looking for it, I wouldn't have known either.
Yeah.
Right, but I went looking for it because I was like, well, this is really stupid. Where does this come from? I would say the Pillman name change. Right? Just bill him as Brian Pillman Jr. But then when you watch the vignettes, when you read why the name is the way the name is, and how as much as he's trying not to honor his father as a character, like to be the chef, he's his dad.
Well, this is true, but also I think WWE just wanted a name to,
No, but
be able to,
and I'm okay. All right, so I'm okay with children of wrestlers trying to create their own image. That's why for the longest time, when it was just Charlotte, it wasn't Charlotte Flair, fine. Right? You use the Flair name in NXT to give to build your brand, so to say. Right? Your individual brand.
Yeah.
Now you just want to be known as Charlotte. Awesome. Cool. I'm about it. Right? No different here with Brian Pillman. No different than with Cody. Right? Even though it was a legal issue. If you would have turned around and said when Cody left WWE, he was not going to go by Cody Rhodes. And he was just going to call himself the American Nightmare Cody. I like that. The first day I heard the American Nightmare Cody. Oh my God, he's honoring Dusty in his own way. No different here than with Brian Pillman Jr., right? He came back to the company that made his dad.
Yeah.
No disrespect to what Pillman did in WCW, but everybody remembers the loose cannon Brian Pillman in WWF. But he didn't want to just be known as Brian Pillman's son. He wanted to come in and he wanted to set the bar for himself. I'm all for it. I think this kid is going to do well. I'm excited for what they're going to do with this kid. The only concern that I have is that they're going to end up screwing this kid over because they're just going to run out of things to do in NXT. That's a big problem right now that NXT has. You run out of things to do fairly quickly.
Okay. Look at Melo.
Look at Braun. Right?
Dijak, Corbin, all of them.
Exactly. Now, that's why I think you just need to go to the idea of nobody likes anybody else. Right? Nobody likes anybody else. We're all just vying for that top spot. Right? There's no good guys, there's no bad guys. I just want to be the best. Like no one ever was.
Why did I know he was going there?
Because I can. All right. Kalani Jordan and Ariana Grace. They have their match. Kalani Jordan wins. It wasn't a bad match. It was better than Lola Vice and Carmen Petrovic. I think there was an injury though, and because it felt, I want to say it felt rushed. It did, but it felt like it just came to an abrupt halt. I would like to think there was some kind of injury. Maybe. What really is, to your point, it was time. You had an opportunity to do multiple nights on Peacock, where you own the time for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Do what you will with it. You want to go 2.5 hours? Go 2.5 hours. This could have been a takeover. Or, I'm sorry, premium live event. Right?
Could have pulled Tony Khan and made this go 4 fucking hours.
You don't even need to do that. Right? You could have done, you still could have done 2 weeks of it. Right? You have arenas booked for Saturdays anyway. Right? You're concerned about Saudi? Push everything up a week. No one's going to complain if Halloween Havoc is the week before Halloween. You want to know why? Because what's everybody going to be doing this weekend? Halloween parties. The World Series.
Fuck the World Series.
Also, yes. But you had opportunity. Okay?
Boo, bitches, boo.
But I digress. Right?
And he probably might have had one backstage segment too many because you added in the interviews.
Correct.
That killed your time there.
Just a little bit.
You could have done without the damn interviews. You could have done the interviews as a after show segment, like they've always done, or before this, before.
What's up, Pove?
What's up, Pove?
I think Pove's actually in Disney right now.
Oh boy. You could have done it as a pre-show segment. You could have done an after-show segment. I don't care. You could have done it as a WWE.com special for all I give a fuck.
Right.
You could have done without the interviews and saved you some time in these matches. But instead, you add them at the last minute. This is the thing. You add them at the last minute, and then you screw over the women once again.
I don't think you're screwed over the women. Let's call it what it is, right? You look at the women, the 2 women's matches that count. And no disrespect to the breakout tournament women. Roxanne and Kiana go 10 minutes and 51 seconds. Lyra and Becky go 16 minutes and 6 seconds. Blair Davenport and Gigi go 12 minutes 32 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
The only other match on this card that goes over 10 minutes is the tag title match. They beat out Roxanne and Kiana by less than 30 seconds. Not by much, but less than 30 seconds.
Well, and not to mention, you had more women's matches in this week. You had...
Yes, this was all women's matches almost.
It sounds like also that the women had, half the show, if you had at the time,
Mm-hmm. And they split it next week too, with Kalani versus Lola for the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea Green and Piper versus Thea Hall and Jacy Jayne, and then Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley.
Okay.
Right? Which, by the way, they're billing Thea and Jacy as Chase U.
Yeah.
For next week. But, so, I'm okay with them kind of getting the back burner for those 2 matches because we know that those 2 are going to go off and hopefully tear down the show next week. Right?
Yeah.
The Tiffany and Fallon match will probably be the throwaway of the women's matches next week. No disrespect to Tiffany. The segment was funny. Right? Where the other girl was pretending to be Tiffany. But you bring up the interviews, you bring up all that. I'm okay with those though. Because it's what set, and we talked about it last week, it's what sets WWE apart from AEW. Everything that you saw on Halloween Havoc last week we're either seeing the fallout of that throughout the show, or it leads to a match next week. They still had to build night 2 while still airing night 1 because they don't have the luxury of, oh, we'll do that on Raw. We'll put these guys over here on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't have any other show. So I think they did a great job with it. I just wish to some extent it would have been a premium live event. I think you could have gotten away with a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, Damien's right. It was basically evolution to some extent. And
Yeah. No,
Damien says NXT needs Regal back. I don't think Sean's doing a horrible job.
No,
It could be a lot worse.
but I do like the Regal aspect of it.
Oh, I do too. I absolutely do. All right, so let's get to
The meat and potatoes of it all.
Yeah, Lyra versus Becky. And I want to go back to Damien's comment here. Lyra wins. I keep wanting to call her Lila.
Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah. She wins, beats Becky. First things first, let me ask you. Did you like the match?
Yes.
How do you feel about the ending?
I wouldn't say I hate it.
Was it too soon to take the title off of Becky?
No. It's kind of just right. You know, I had said it last week. You know, I figured Lyra was winning it, but at the same time, I thought Jade was going to make Becky lose that title. But she ended up, getting it clean.
I'm sick of these Jade vignettes. Why doesn't she just choose which brand? This was the most we saw out of Jade.
Yes.
Being in the crowd, obviously up on a pedestal, everything like that. But it makes sense how they did it, whatever. Because they don't have boxes. You couldn't have shown Jade in a right. It's not like on a SmackDown where you could have Jade in a suite.
I feel like she's doing this because she's watching Becky.
I think so too. Especially after how that all played out.
And she's choosing Raw. I'm 99% sure she's going to be choosing Raw because, again, she's watching Becky.
And you just brought Bianca back to SmackDown.
Correct. And you know the simple quote, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! And who better for Jade to beat their first, in her debut?
And the man, Becky Lynch.
Exactly.
So, no, all right, so let me.
I think the title run was just long enough. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short.
It didn't make Tiffany seem like a transitional champion. Right? It didn't make Becky seem like a transitional champion. It gave Tiffany validity.
Yep.
Right? And it instantly gave Lyra validity. It took the NXT women's division and let them get back on track. You put someone at the mountaintop who's been there, who can do it with their eyes closed.
Yep.
Right? And you let everybody get back on track. You got through the tournament. You got through...
Now the gerbil's back in the hamster wheel, and we can keep going with the women's division.
Exactly. Right? You got through all these little down spots and things you had planned to where now you move into...
Now we just need to do that with the
new era.
With the titles in the men's division.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I like Dirty Dom in the North American title scene, I really think that needs to change.
I think it will. Damien says, if Jade's watching Becky, why take the damn title off of Becky? Then it makes no sense. And I'm going to answer it. Because Jade's not going to be at NXT. In his scenario, right, which I don't hate, I don't mind it, right? Jade's going to Raw. There's no reason to put the title on Jade. Right? It frees up Becky to do this thing and lose to Jade. You don't devalue the title. Right? Becky will survive losing to Jade.
Yep.
Right? There's so many layers to it. Now, I get what you're saying, Damien, and if I thought Jade was going to NXT then fuck yeah, Becky needs to have the title.
I feel like what it's going to come down to is after Saudi, Becky's going to want to toss her hat into the ring for the Raw Women's World Heavyweight Championship, and Jade's going to interrupt her and pull her right out of that match.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to, take Becky out, Becky out of that. She's just, it's going to be that focuses Becky's like, oh, well, the new girl wants to step up. Well, let me step aside first for a moment and try to put the new girl in her place.
Right.
And so then you'll have whoever's the women's champion from Saudi, go on and have their thing with whoever at that point, because right now you want to set up Becky, Jade, and there's no better way to do it than to set Becky and Jade up for Survivor Series. Because this is going to be,
and that's something. I'm glad you bring that up. Right, when you look at everything they're doing and on the main roster, and I don't want to steer too far away because we still have other stuff to talk about. We'll talk about this more in depth later, or even at another time.
Yep.
They have to build Saudi and start laying the groundwork for Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the Saudi build's pretty much done. You just got to hype things up. Right, you've got to start, and they're doing a great job with the general managers. Damian goes, but if it would make the storyline more interesting if Becky's, but it would make, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It would make the storyline more interesting if Becky still has that title. Without the title, there's no interest. It's just going to feel like an ordinary match.
Now see, again, this harkens back to us talking about Roman Rock.
Now,
you don't need,
pause, before you go too far, I know where you're going with this. I get what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in any other story, I would probably agree with him. I'm concerned with where you're going.
You don't need a title for certain matches, and this is a match
Okay,
you don't need a title for.
Because and it's because of how you set it up, and I can't believe I'm actually giving you a lot of credit to I think I'm dying. Call 911. But no, it's Becky goes to get involved with the Raw title. Jade says, you've done it. It's my time now.
Mm-hmm.
And Becky essentially goes, you didn't even go here. And those two brawl. The ramifications of it, the fallout of it, that person goes for the title.
Yeah.
That person. Because again, there's a reason why Becky was in NXT. Why was Becky in NXT? Not because she's bad. Because she's able to teach and she's able to guide.
Yes.
And make everybody look good. Throughout
100% agree. 100% agree.
So there's more to it than just that. I get where Damian's going.
I do too.
And I think if Becky had the Raw title, I think we're having a different conversation. If we felt like Jade was staying on NXT,
different conversation.
Now, if it turns out that Jade stays on NXT, then she's going after Lyra, and Becky's not even a factor. Everything we just talked about means nothing.
And it's happened before, and it wouldn't be the first time.
I don't hate it if it does. I don't hate Jade staying on NXT.
Yeah.
Right? Jade's a variable, and everything around Jade is a variable, and I love that. Because it makes this shit that we do right now so difficult.
Because you want to talk about one thing, and then all of a sudden the curveball comes.
Next thing you know, we're talking about Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin somehow.
Because we were all, take for instance, all day today. I write the show. Hey, do you think we should talk about something else? All of a sudden, several different topics come up. Holy shit, what should we talk about now? Because then you're leaning into, why the hell are we on the topic of Ric Flair?
Yeah. Like, and then that was the conversation was, should we start with Ric Flair? And my comment to you was, well, you and Pete, can you give me a poll question about Ric Flair debuting in AEW that would have sparked enough of a conversation? And the problem was, I don't even know if we tried, really. Let's be honest. But we couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, what was it?
So hold on, but we got to pay some bills. We're gonna transition from this into night 2. I don't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're good. You're good. I couldn't find it anyway, so
yeah. So we want to thank our sponsor, Carlino's. This is Carlino's Bakery.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
That was Carlino's.
I just ate before the show, and now I'm hungry. Thank you, Carlino's.
Well, I was planning on going to Waffle House after this. Yeah. By the way, that's what we're doing.
Oh, you bastard.
Just saying.
That's fine by me.
But we thank Carlino's. I can't find the Carlino's banner.
There it is.
No, that's the overlay.
Oh.
But we have banners, and no.
It's not under example banners?
It's Pete!
Petey!
Pete, what do you think about that poll question? Chase you, best thing in NXT right now? Let me know. Let's talk about it. But let's go into night 2 of NXT. Pete agrees with the poll. Good man.
Saves you another week of a job. No. Just kidding, Pete. We love you. Miss you.
Yeah, I don't see. All right.
Maybe they just forgot to put one in there.
No, it's somewhere. I'm just being dumb. Anyway.
Being dumb.
Anyway, let's go into night 2 of NXT.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Boy, you need help.
They don't have what I need.
All right, let's start with Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice, and I don't want to stay too long on this, right? Because we have some other stuff we want to talk about.
Kalani Jordan, this is the breakout, tournament final. So I'm just gonna go with Kalani Jordan. I don't know who the hell I can't remember who's who, and it's just another breakout tournament. If I saw pictures of them, I might, but let's see. Kalani Jordan, it's.
Well, Kalani,
I think it's Kalani that I did want to win this one.
I think Kalani impressed me more.
Yeah, no, it's Kalani Jordan. Yeah,
I think Kalani was just a little bit more impressive. Damien, you're gonna stop with the names. You really are, dude. I'm cool with you. Had great conversation tonight, but gotta stop with the names. But no, I would like to see Kalani win it. I think it's just a little bit more believable with Kalani winning it.
Yeah.
The variable though is Lola has Elektra.
Yep.
Right. That Elektra variable, because Elektra wasn't LWO and all that other stuff. She's solidified. She's been a force on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Could definitely play into something. Mr. Stone versus Braun Breaker, I don't think he even gets started. I think Von Wagner shows up and levels Braun.
I think he gets started. I think Stone wins it because of Von Wagner.
I would die laughing if Stone won it.
I honestly believe Stone is winning it because his best friend is going to come in there and just level Breaker while the ref's not looking.
I would lose my mind.
Because they made that, that bond connection friendship with this latest, video recap.
That was a weird video.
They've been weird videos, but you know what? I'll take it. It's good storytelling. I'm all for good storytelling.
Either way, right? I think this will be.
It'll be a quick match.
Ass-kicking contest. Right?
I don't think it'll be a Goldberg squash match.
No, I don't either.
Honestly, this match doesn't go over 7 minutes. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll eat my hat if it does.
Which you're not wearing today, by the way.
I forgot it at home, and I just haven't really.
You do know what's going to happen if.
I didn't wear it last week,
Okay, fair enough.
and they still won.
The Creed brothers versus Garza and Humberto. Creed brothers all day long, twice on Sunday.
Creed brothers, and it's in a tables, ladders, and scares match.
Which I like that. I think that's going to be interesting.
I think that's the only match they actually spun the wheel this week on.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad, but it is what it is.
But that's fine because you look at what else there is. You have the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament Final. Spin the wheel, make a deal, tables, ladders, and scares. The NXT North American Championship. The tag team titles. 2 singles matches and for nothing, and then the NXT Championship.
Fine. But it's the week of Halloween. It's Halloween night. Do some more Halloween themed shit. I hope the guy Chucky pops up.
I hate you so much.
But it's his favorite night of the year.
I hate you so much. You're so dumb.
Maybe he'll come to piss off Breaker.
That's possible.
That's what's gonna happen. Stone's winning the match thanks to Chucky.
Oh my god.
Since your uncle ain't around.
No kidding. But yeah, Creed brothers all day long.
All day long. 100%. Creed brothers. Woo!
Dirty Dom versus Nathan Fraser for the NXT North American title. I think this is where Nathan takes it.
Sadly, I see Dirty Dom retaining it.
I get it if Dirty Dom does retain it because it fits the narrative that they're building with the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
I would just rather see Dom hold, at this point, something like the U.S. title.
U.S. title, IC title, I don't care. But a main roster title.
IC title. Don't put him near Gunther. Right? I guess Ralph.
What do we got? Chase U? No, what is that? No. Yeah.
Yeah, Chase U. I think Chase U's Thea Hall and Jacy Jayne versus Chelsea and Piper. I want Chase U to win this.
I do too. 100%. We're on the same page here on this one.
I want them to win it.
Chase U double gold all night long.
There's a part of me that wants, as much as I like the idea of Jacy corrupting Chase U, there's a part of me that wants Jacy to be like, I get it now.
Why can't she be in the middle of the anti-hero?
No. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool if she's like the school bully. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's almost like a Nelson Muntz from The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Right? School bully, kind of a prick, but when push comes to shove, will help out the heroes.
Yeah.
Damien goes, question, do y'all think instead of having NXT bring back these old pay-per-views and making it their own, shouldn't they be on a main pay-per-view since main roster go to NXT and vice versa? And making it their own, shouldn't they be on main pay-per-views?
Meaning like maybe Survivor Series or...
Well, I liked when they did Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT for Survivor Series.
But I see where he's getting with. Instead of having them do separate pay-per-views for NXT and the main roster, he's saying just everybody be on the same pay-per-views. But honestly, that'd be too many matches at this point. You'd really be watering down who's getting pay-per-view time. So to me, it seems best for NXT to stick with their own pay-per-views, go to less weeklies, which they've gone to less weeklies here, as of recent.
Yeah.
But stick to your own pay-per-views for the main roster in NXT. Because, again, you've got way too much talent for them to be stuck to one pay-per-view a month. For them to be stuck to... Because then you're going to do what? 1 to 2 NXT matches versus 4 or 5 main roster matches, and then you're not getting NXT talent's not going to get a pay-per-view match.
Yeah, and now here's something I'd be okay with. If NXT went to some kind of monthly premium live event.
Like a takeover?
Like they used to do takeovers. They weren't monthly either. They were...
Well, I know.
But maybe do bi-monthly. Right?
I think that's
Here's
where the specials come in. Is
No. I'm saying get away from the specials. Fuck the specials. And the reason being is, as somebody that pays for Peacock, it costs me what, $12 a month and I get all my premium live events.
Yeah.
So why the hell not? You're not going to hear me complain that, oh, there's too many PLEs, right? I can't afford them all. Whereas I was bitching about AEW because I dropped $100
in 2 weeks.
in the course of a week.
Oh yeah, week. Sorry, yeah.
In the course of a week. For what?
When that whole weekend, WWE, we all agreed WWE did a whole lot better in one
WWE won
than they did in 2 to 3 pay-per-view. Like, it's dumb.
And I think that's where Damien's going with his comment, right? I think.
No, I think that's exactly where he's going.
But again, it just solidifies my concept of I want there to be that moment, right?
Yeah.
All right, so go from there. Tiffany versus Fallon.
Tiffany.
I kind of want Fallon. I like where this could go.
I do too, but I think Tiffany I think they're just going to give Tiffany just a flat out win. It's not going to be exactly a squash match, but it's been damn close enough. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be Tiffany showing off and Fallon getting a few licks, and then bada boom, bada bing, done.
Like I said though, I wouldn't hate it.
So main event that we all know:
Dragunov versus Hayes.
Round 3.
Fight.
Dragunov all day long, because at the end of the day, Trick's coming out and costing Melo.
Because Trick thinks Melo attacked him.
Exactly.
Whether he did or didn't. We're getting this storyline regardless. Right? Yeah. I can see that.
I think Melo's done.
Or Melo wins and Trick gets all up in his face and goes, now it's my turn. Now you're going to give me what you didn't give me in your first run.
Now here's a match that probably would be better off with the title.
Well, yeah, because it would be a passing of the torch.
Not just that, but you took me out of, earning my title opportunity. I want my fucking title opportunity.
Yeah.
So this is one where having a title makes sense. Needing the title makes sense. So, yeah, Ilja's on the back burner for, a few weeks to a month and, clawing his way back to the NXT title, but then you transition it over to Trick, see what he does, and then have Ilja take it right back.
Yeah.
I know at this point you're playing hot potato, but honestly, it might be better to do it this way for a little bit to see what it can do to revive NXT a little more.
Well, and I think Trick is going to be the one to usher them into the next era. Right? Because you're gonna see Melo go up. You're gonna see Dragunov go up. You're gonna see Braun go up. Right? Trick's not going up anytime soon. No disrespect to Trick.
No.
But Trick needs to be able to stand on his own.
I think Trick. I think Trick's, like you said, is going to usher in. Trick and Ilja are ushering in that new era of NXT.
Damien goes, you just feel like NXT should be in this crown jewel and plays NXT already feel like it's a main roster show. I don't feel like it's about the men. Okay. So let's break. There's a lot to unpack there. Should NXT be part of crown jewel? No. Absolutely not. Is NXT another main roster? Kind of. But when we look at the roster that sits there now and you look at the shows they put out, and we gave the crowd at the Performance Center all the love because they sit through some tough stuff, it's still developmental. They do have a lot of high points, don't get me wrong. But because of those high points, we're willing to ignore the low points and not realize, oh, that was a crappy interview. Or that match was sucked, right? you wouldn't have a breakout tournament on the main roster. There are little things that they do that remind you, hey, we're still working on our stuff.
Yep.
So, all right. One more ad, and then we're going to do a little This Week in Wrestling. I know there's some stuff we want to talk about. Woo! Let's go.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
All right, we're back. That was Hats.com. We're going to jump into some This Week in Wrestling. All right. So, this is always your segment.
Oh, boy.
Because you always have the random shit you want me to talk about.
I mean...
And I know it's on your mind, so you might as well bring it up anyway.
You talking about Sting, Tony Khan's gift to Sting?
Yes.
Tony Khan's gift to Sting being Ric Flair.
First of all, since when is Ric Flair a gift that you give somebody?
Because that was, I mean, those were, that was Sting and Flair. That was, the thing back in the day. That was the big match, the big,
No, I get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still.
Since when does a person become a gift?
Yes! And how do you convince me?
How do you say that without saying it?
How do you convince me I'm going to give you this person as a gift? No. I'm just going to let that cook for a minute. I want to let that cook and simmer, and I want you to say it out loud yourself. Say it with me. I'm going to give you this person as a gift.
It's slavery with extra steps.
That's my problem with it. Like, what the fuck are we doing? How did you convince all these people to say that on air?
It's like, here's a gift. This is the guy that put you on the map. He's going to come out and say a few words about your retirement.
Like, I would rather say, hey, we got you a surprise.
Yeah, that would have been a whole lot better.
Right? But you died on this hill of, I got you a gift. That means you bought something. You bought me somebody.
Slavery.
Stop saying the word.
With extra steps.
Stop saying it.
I had to finish the sentence. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't. It wasn't good the first time. I guess my biggest issue, right, is I would rather Tony Khan, which I don't know why you're in the ring anyway. I don't know why we're doing this.
Tony wasn't in the ring.
He wasn't in the ring?
Tony Schiavone was in the ring to give him the gift.
Worse. You made Schiavone. God damn it.
No, I can see why Schiavone did it.
I can too.
That's cool. I'm okay with that because Tony in the ring would have been awkward as fuck, and you know it.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have been on a higher soapbox tonight than you are right the fuck now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're good with Schiavone being in the ring because it's Sting!
But guess what, bitch? I'm still on my soapbox. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Tell me why, bitch.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Sorry.
And we're getting kicked off there. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. No, here's if we get kicked off here for that, I'm immediately going to record a label. But Revolution 2024, look this up because I'm too lazy.
Should be around the late February, early March stage.
Okay, so that's November. Let's chalk October up to an L. November, December, January, February, March. Let's just say it's late March.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5 months away. You mean to tell me that you're going to go on this grand 5-month-long tour?
Yes.
You've been doing it for a year. You've already been doing it for what feels like a year.
It's actually been longer.
You hit the same 7 cities. Because you've been in business for how long? And I get COVID. Okay, fine. But people have been traveling again since 2021. It is 2023. You do easily 40 shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still saying it's our first time in Oklahoma? Oh, now it's going to be our first time in North Charleston. I don't care. That doesn't make me want to go buy a ticket. Fuck.
And I don't remember if they announced it or not where it was going to be next year. I don't think they announced. I thought they announced the where it was going to be, but
But that's even worse. That's even worse.
I don't know. Yeah, no, they haven't announced anything about it, where it's going to be, when it's going to be. But let's see. The first Revolution was in Chicago. The next 2 were in different parts of Florida. Last year's was in this year's was in California. So, it could be anywhere.
But again, 5 months.
You know what that also means, though, for 5 months?
I'm about to say it. You're going to parade Ric Flair around with Sting
for 5 months.
Who in the back, who, or in the front offices, or in Tony's Inner Circle, or in the professional wrestling industry for that matter, thought this was a good idea? And his last name better not end with Khan. Start with Khan.
No. His last name ends with Montana. Tony Montana. Because he's too busy back there snorting all that coke. Thought Ric Flair was,
Snorting with Rick? No.
They went in for a line after the show.
But I in all seriousness, all jokes aside, everything like that, right? Was Rick's moment on Wednesday good? Yes, it was. It's Rick. He can talk. If you didn't think it was going to be good, then you're in the wrong business.
And to be quite honest, it went on just long enough because they had gone any further before Christian would have interrupted him. I think I'd have fell asleep.
Well, and because did Rick cry?
I don't think he did.
Thank God.
I don't think he got to that part yet.
If he would have started crying, it would have been over. But all this says to me, and oh my God, no, I don't think Damien says. I bet Eric gave TK the idea. Bischoff is not a fan of Tony Khan, from what I understand and what I've read.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
I need to go back and listen to some 83 Weeks.
From my understanding, they're not. He's not a big fan of him right now.
But my point being here, all you told me with Wednesday night, I'll tell you what Sting's last match is right now. You asked me last week, what do you think Sting's last match is going to be? I said, ask me in 6 months when I give a damn. And then Tony Khan said, hold my beer.
Because I already have a bad, because I said it Wednesday night, I think I have a bad idea as to who his last match is going to be.
It is going to be the Icon Sting going 1-on-1 with the 16-time
heart attack in the ring
World Heavyweight Champion, the 2-time Hall of Famer, the 7 surgeries for hip replacements, the 15 wives, the 82 daughters, Ric Flair.
You had me at 15 wives and 82 daughters.
Why? Why on God's green earth?
Because I guarantee you. No, I guarantee.
No. You're Ric Flair. First of all, stop getting fucking divorced and you'd actually have some money. Keep it in your pants, you dirty old bastard.
I don't think it's about the money. No. Hear me out. I don't think it's about the money.
I'm gonna roll. Hold on. Second of all, you had an uncomfortable match against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. That was supposed to be your swan song. You bled like a stuck pig. You put more blood on the canvas than alcohol in your body. And that's saying something.
I didn't realize this was the roast of Ric Flair.
It is. And you rode off into the sunset. It was great. Everybody was happy. You did it back 15 years ago for WWE. You had the only televised retirement ceremony in WWE history. Still one of my favorite things to go watch. Even though I know 10 months later it meant dick. You retired more times than the Cowboys have made the playoffs in the last 20 years. Why? Who in your family said this was a good idea?
I know what Charlotte.
What? Like,
so
I get it on paper. Sting, Ric Flair. It put butts in seats across the country.
But
30 years ago.
Hear me out for 5 seconds.
One.
Oh, shut up, you. So I was listening. I wasn't listening, but last week reading. It was before AW.
You can read?
Surprisingly, yes. I write the show, right?
Barely.
Ric Flair was talking about his last match and how he wasn't happy with it, but that it was his last match.
What the fuck wasn't he happy with?
It didn't go the way he was hoping or something.
What did he want? Did he want to win 22 titles?
No, he wished it would have been a different opponent.
Bitch, you picked the opponent.
I know.
Right here, so the whole world can see it. Bite me.
He changed the picture.
I saw it.
But no. So my guess is Tony heard this interview and decided, you know what? Hey, Sting, I got something for you.
You know what's the most dangerous thing in the world?
What's that?
There's two things that are the scariest thing that ever happened in the professional wrestling industry. One, Tony Khan having a blank checkbook. Two, Ric Flair with a live mic. And now you have both of them under one roof.
Woo!
And you know what Tony's going to do each and every single week because it's Rick?
What's that?
He's going to roll out the red carpet. And at the end of that red carpet, this black sweatshirt wearing motherfucker is going to be on his knees. Oh, thank you, Daddy Flair. Oh, thank you, Daddy Flair. Thank you for gracing us with your divorced ass.
Thank you, Daddy Flair. May I have another?
Yeah. Gives a whole new meaning to getting chopped.
Oh.
Fuck. What else? What other stupid shit do you have for me?
I mean, Dynamite Diamond Ring. MJF retained his ring.
You want to talk about another bullshit thing? The Dynamite ring. It's stupid.
So after the match, Juice and his boys jump MJF. Well, Roddy comes rolling his ass out to the ring with his two boys. Sends him in the ring to save MJF, for Cole's sake. And they all get raffle stomped. Sit right out of the ring pack. Give it a few more minutes. Here come the Acclaim sending the Bang Bang Club out the ring and back up, away. MJF says, next week, let's do this. Your 8-man tag match, I'm all down for it. I'll pick my people.
Mhm.
He chooses not to pick the Acclaimed. I don't know why. He's a dumb fuck. Also agrees to a match at the next pay-per-view, even though he's got a title match against the Guns for the Ring of Honor World Tag titles. So another 2-match night for MJF.
Well, you know who he's facing tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. No, I'm leading up to that.
Okay.
Because MJF walks out after telling, the Acclaim no. Here comes Kenny Omega wanting a match. Saturday night.
Well, so you know how that all started, right?
With the streak.
But you know where that all started, right?
How?
MJF would go on BTE and get real close to Kenny Omega, whisper in his ear, and go, 57 days, bitch.
Yeah. Because Kenny Omega did the same thing to him that night.
Right, that's where that all... Jackson fill me in on that.
Yeah, well, I saw it last week when he did it to Kenny, X amount of days. And then before he walked off, bitch.
Yeah.
And that's Kenny's like, hey, defend the streak this Saturday, belt streak. Let's do this.
Right. Which I'm okay with.
3 days, bitch.
Yeah.
And then, of course, now Joe wants a shot at the title. Hey, I'll give you some protection, but I want to shot at that title later.
Joe's a new Wardlow.
Oh, no. Wardlow.
Oh, I know what I said. I know why I said it.
But we had a segment Wednesday night as well with Wardlow saying he's coming after MJF and everything he owns.
Why? Just God fuck why?
Everybody wants a piece of MJF.
The best thing that could happen to me?
What's that?
January 1st.
I think that's why Tony's doing what he's doing right now.
I don't
because he's afraid
that motherfucker resigns.
That's what I'm saying. I think Tony's doing everything he can right now to get in all these matches with MJF while he can, because even Tony doesn't believe in his coked up little mind that MJF is resigning. Because I would love to fucking see come January 2024, let the bidding wars begin. And it ain't going to be much of a fucking bidding war. Because WWE's going to go, here's the blank check.
No, I think Tony's hurting his chances with this right now. I think he's going to run MJF into the ground.
That's what I was getting at, bud.
Oh, man. So much about AEW drives me up a wall.
Sheeta defends her title Wednesday night against Ruby Soho. Great match. I fucking hate commentators because they gave away that ending way too easy.
But AEW's commentary team is a joke. It's been a joke.
A lot of commentaries, yes, they're going back and forth as, they might win it, cool. I don't know who the fuck's going to win it. But you let me watch an AEW while a championship match is going on?
I'll tell you who wins in 30 seconds.
Exactly. Because Ruby was on a roll. Oh, Ruby's about to win it. She's going to win it. She's going to be our new champion. Motherfucker, why'd you just give it away? It just pisses me off. And then, hey, what do we got going on Rampage tonight? Even though Tony Storm's battling Cheetah at the next pay-per-view, we have on Rampage tonight a triple threat match that, spoiler alert, Abaddon wins for a shot at the title at Collision tomorrow night.
Yeah, see, I'm okay with something like that because it doesn't mess up Tony's shot.
Just messes up whether she fights Cheetah or not.
Right, which is fine because it also says, well, you won on a random Saturday that nobody watches. I won under the big lights. I won when it mattered. You couldn't perform when it mattered. I could.
That
I know what I
sound
said.
right.
I know what I said.
But and then the other big thing. I'm done with AEW. The other big thing. Come January, Hard to Kill. Impact is no more. Total nonstop action is back, baby.
So you and I saw each other on Sunday. We were watching the Eagles game.
Mm-hmm.
You brought it up. You were dying to talk about it on Sunday.
Bro, that promo gave me...
In all fairness to you, you were very, very excited about it. I was not. I let you have your moment. I'm going to let you have your moment here on the air. Go right ahead.
I'm just saying.
No. Go right ahead. And then I will do to you exactly what I did to you on Sunday.
I know.
And tell you why I think it was shit. I like the idea. Let me preface. Like the idea. But please. Enlighten society.
But after the main event, they held a little promo.
Don't look at me.
Promo video package to show that, Impact's changing its name back to TNA. Total nonstop action. I had chills the entire promo. Hairs raised up. Fucking fantastic. I grew up watching, I watched TNA from 2004, and I still keep up with the damn thing. When I first heard of TNA, it was, I was like, what the hell is this wrestling here on some random ass cable channel that I've never heard of?
I would watch because on FS1 or Fox Sports, whatever I had, because I was still in Philly when I discovered them. Out here, I by the time I got out here, it was Spike.
Yes,
but it would be like 2:00 in the morning. I couldn't sleep, and I would watch. This is where I learned AJ Styles. I became an AJ Styles fan at 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was our ECW. I love the concept of going back to it. Having Jordan Grace, and I got nothing against the woman. I got nothing against her at all. But having her in that promo was wrong. In the spot they had her in. You should have the 3 originals talk and then hand the box to Jordan and whoever else you want to put in there. Right?
Yeah,
and let them open it.
Because they had, what's his name? That was in the main event. I can't remember his name. Alexander or
Alex Shelley?
No, Alex Shelley, the non-TNA original that was in the main event. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But they pretty much had, like you said, 3 to 4 originals and then 3 or 4 of the new breed, in a sense. I agree with Damien. I miss Spike TV.
Man, I miss Pros versus Joes. That was a good show.
But I remember the jump to Spike TV when TNA went to Spike TV.
Because WWE just left Spike TV. I remember all of it, and I remember the Aces in 8-bit.
Yes.
Right?
I remember when it went downhill with Bischoff and Hogan.
You look before, but you look at some of the stuff they did in the Impact Zone.
Yep.
Where they had they had Cornette. All that stuff was so good. But that's all we got for us tonight, guys. We'll be back sometime soon. We want to thank all our sponsors tonight. We want to thank hats.com. We want to thank Royal Billiards. We want to thank Carlino's. And we want to make sure that we thank all our friends. My friends, I mean me and Chuck's. And Allen's E-Travel. We want to thank them for sponsoring today's episode. Make sure you guys check out all the links to all our sponsors in our descriptions. But we also want to tell you guys, enjoy your Halloween. Enjoy Halloween Havoc. Enjoy everything. Be safe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We're out.